Virtua Cop 2.
After reviewing the first Virtua Cop of the Elite Edition version of the game on PS2, I decided it's finally time to take a look at Virtua Cop 2. I never knew there were sequels growing up until I saw G-Man Lives make a video on the series, as well as the Time Crisis series. So I decided to boot up the old game again, to only be disappointed by the sequel that felt too samey and yet also less fun. You get to choose from 3 stages as usual, but this time they're all boring to me. I have no interest in city streets or a bloody cruise ship or even the subway. I mean, they're all so bland. You don't get to choose your character, but there is a new recruit, a chick. I mean, why not? Also, the game feels less balanced than the first. Like they really wanted to milk your quarters. Like, damn, I died way too much in the sequel. To which you can see in the playthrough I made that will appear later. So let's jump into the first level. You arrive to a bank robbery and shoot up the mean streets to a generic American city. Like usual, there's tons of enemies everywhere, and there's a good amount of environmental destruction this time around. Besides just computers, cars, and explosive barrels, you got displays, signs, lights, and you can shoot out the tires of the vehicles during chase scenes. And you also get to shoot down a few helicopters as well. I like that, but the level wasn't interesting to me. There seems to be a plot, but it goes nowhere by the end of the game. You can choose a different direction partway through each level though, which is a nice addition to this century. I chose downtown in the first level and found my way to a warehouse or something. After killing 100 goons like it's nothing, I was greeted by the boss. Now, do you think the sequel will give us a new boss or a reskin? Well, if you played the House of the Dead series, you know what to expect from Sega. Except there's no Goldman. Hashtag bring back Goldman.
The original sin that man is responsible to protect the life cycle. I have made a creature to rule over mankind.
Instead, you fight a generic buff bad guy who shoots a grenade launcher at you. Eventually, after you damage him enough, he goes Donkey Kong on you with throwing barrels. Then in the end, instead of a fake surrender like the first game, this guy throws a fucking vehicle at you. Like, goddamn, man, he did not want to go down without a fight. After you destroy the car and you shoot him, it's over. Stage 2 takes place on a cruise ship, but first you need to make your way on board. Fight through a parking lot full of goons, a helicopter, and then the terminal to board the ship. I actually liked the cruise ship after all, as at first I was disappointed with the level selection, but after playing it, the cruise ship might be the better stage. You got tons of destructible props and interactive props, shooting band equipment as you take out the usual criminals. You even got those bloody grenade throwers and pop-up axe guys.
Oh, my favorite!
At one point you have to navigate the passenger rooms, and it gets very claustrophobic with all the goons jumping you at once, especially the bloody axe guys. Of course, this is because I chose to go to the bridge instead of the deck. Going all the way up to a casino and take an elevator to the bridge, where I get jumped by several guys on jetpacks with rocket launchers that act as the boss. Yeah, this is where the bullshit arcade quarter milking mechanics come into play for sure. This boss fight is the worst one in the game. I mean, it's so unfair and awful. Imagine actually playing the arcade machine version back in the day. You'd be weeks in debt. Say goodbye to that milk money.
It's awful.
Finally, we have the third and last stage. That being the subway. While G-Man loves his choo-choo trains,
would you like to ride the train with me and start a magical journey?
I for one don't. It's just nothing great. As you blast the usual goons, this time they look more elite, and the difficulty itself does get elite. Like, damn, I died a whole lot. Then again, I was on free play at 9 lives and auto reload, so I didn't care. You have to be anyways to get through the game. At one point you board the trains themselves and it's okay, but then you get a choice again on which direction to go. Do you go blue or go green? I went with the blue. After clearing the trains of roughly 150 goons, I went into a vent and then an underground base with a Hindenburg. Oh no.
My son, I'm not touching that with a 60-foot pole.
So yeah, you blow up a bunch of goons, some more, and then fight a generic buff guy in a vehicle. It's some kind of tank thing with claws and a rocket launcher. After destroying it, the guy charges you with a wrench. How stupid. But the game ain't over. Turns out there's a hidden stage 4 you get after beating the rest. This time, it's very simple. You shoot the boss with a jetpack and 2 launchers. One is a rocket, and the other is an electrical pulse gun or something. The blimp goes down like it's over a sports stadium for some reason, and the credits roll. The ending is okay, but I do like the first game one more, especially because of the music. For some reason, the other 2 police characters show up, even though they didn't exist in the game till now. And then we roll out the end. So yeah, that's Virtua Cop 2. It's a painfully borderline average game that left me just wanting to play the first one instead. And from what I heard, the third one is even worse. I doubt I'll ever cover it. Virtua Cop 2 already left me agitated enough. I'm going to go take a break and play a better rail shooter, which may or may not be the next review. So yeah, see you in the next one.
This is the final battle!
Klutz Cop.